Welcome back, everyone. I've decided to revisit a subject that I did a video on some time back. Now, when I mention the word slide, most people, probably under 40, will think of these. No, that's what I'm not talking about. I'm talking about these. So people my age will know exactly what I'm talking about. These are photographs that we took using cameras that had a film, and you had a specific type of film in it, and you'd send the film off for processing, and the images would come back and there's little transparencies in either plastic or cardboard surrounds. Excuse it, an itchy nose. And you would put them in a projector and you'd project them up on the wall, and you would bore family members with slideshows. Anyway, all jokes aside, they were very popular, and I used them all the time. A lot of people my age and older will have boxes and boxes of these. And as time goes on, they become an important archival format. And so as the generations pass on, you'll find that these slides make their way into younger members of the family, and they don't know what to do with them. And that's what this is all about. Now, these days there are lots and lots of ways you can do it. You can buy something like this. This is a fairly cheap little device. Look, it does a reasonable job. And this is how I started. And I've tried a number of these, and I've always found them wanting. So I eventually decided to use my big gun cameras. Now this has got a 30 megapixel sensor in it, and it's a 35mm full size sensor, 35 megapixel sensor. It's awesome for doing this sort of work. You will not get better quality out of slides than using something like this. Saying that, you have to have the right equipment to make sure that you get that image into the sensor. And one other caveat, the final image is only as good as the slide, as the settings on the camera, the focus, and so forth. So if you, and it happens all the time, you get a pretty crappy slide, there's not much you can do about it. Anyway, so I'm now going to show you just how I go about this. Using this and this adapter. And in a minute we'll go out and show you how I set it all up. So these adapters, it's called a zoom duplicator. There's many different names for them. There's Konica, there's King, there's, I've forgotten all of them. The Pan, I can't remember, doesn't matter. The point is, you can find these like a dime a dozen on eBay. Here, I'll just bring this up and show you. I did a search the other day, and you can see for yourself. They're inexpensive, anywhere from $20 to probably $50, and they're the perfect thing you need. Now, this is the important thing you need to know. So, I'll just take that off. That's actually how you get it. And some of them will have different mounts for different cameras. Now, this one's for a Canon. So, the idea is to buy, do your searching and find one that has the right connector for your camera. Now this is for a Canon EF mount. Now my camera is actually one of the new RF mount cameras. It's the EOS R. So I bought an adapter from Canon which goes from the EF mount and, oops, I'm not connecting that correctly, and then that goes to the RF mount. So I just thought I'd cover that. That will then get you to the camera. So basically, you take your lens off, Put that on, and now you're set. This camera, I put it on the FV setting. You can put it on the aperture priority if you want to do. That's up to you. You experiment. I started doing this with manual settings, and I found that I was continually altering the ISO because different slides, some were light, some were black. So I found on this camera the FV setting is absolutely perfect. It just gives me the ideal composure to capture each slide. Okay, so I think now what we're going to do is go out and show you how I set up my rig and just how it all works. So what we have here, we've got a piece of melamine board, cost about $20. This stand here I got from Bunnings, local hardware store. That's actually a furniture leg. That cost me $15. The bracket here, the clamp, is a small rig clamp, cost me $12. And this is a mount for the Manfrotto mount that I use on all of my tripods and so forth. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how much that is, but it's, you know, maybe $50 with the actual slider. So as you can see, that's a fairly inexpensive setup. I also have this Luma Cube light. I think they're about $120, and I use that to go underneath this. So when it's shining on that, we can see the slide. And something I also want to show you. So most slides are like this. And as I said, some of them will have 35mm or 126, which is a smaller sort of a transparency. But there are some out there that are like this. And these are big. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not I think the specification for these, I think they're called 121. I have no idea what it relates to. But anyway, it's a slide, a very large slide. And I can't use it in this. It won't fit. But I also have this other device that I'm going to show you. It's it here. And by the way, this actually is a modular thing. It's called a Scan Deluxe by a company called, I'm going to put it on the screen because I can't pronounce it. And I got it primarily to do 35mm slides. We have an adapter that goes on top here, and you put your 35mm film, and you can go through, you can set this up on a stand with your iPhone and take pictures, or you can put this camera with a lens above it and do the same thing. But it's ideal for doing, what do I do with that slide? Oh, I must have put it over here. Put it back. Oh, there it is. These slides go perfectly over this. Now, the power of this, you've got two ways. You can put little AA batteries in here, or in my case, I plug in a power brick, turn it on, and as you can see, that slide fits over that light perfectly. And then if I have the camera mounted with I generally use a 50mm lens over the top, take this up and down to get the right position so I can focus, and I can take these slides, and that's what I did with them. So there you go. I just thought I'd mention that one while I was at it. But let's get back to the other system. I'll turn the light on. And I tend to put it at 50%. And I put that under the lens there, and the camera automatically adjusts. Now, we'll get a normal slide. Here we go. Now, we've got the camera sort of back to front, so I always put the slides in back to front, which is funny because that's what it was like when in the old days on the projectors. Now, I've put that in, and as I said, we can slide this up or down or in. I mean, there's the other thing, you might want to zoom in on the image, and you can slide the head around to get different croppings. But in most cases you will want to try and get the whole slide, and that's what you do. Now, that's the other thing, once you've got this up and running, with the screen, like I tend to shoot in manual mode a lot of the time, and I have a lot of information on the screen. If I use the info button, I can scale through and clean that, and now I've just got a clean image of the actual, sorry, a clean view of the image. Anyway, at this point you just take a picture, and that's it. That's it, girls and boys. Now you just take the slide out. I'll grab another slide. Take another picture. And another little comment about some slides are taken in landscape mode and some are in portrait mode. I always shoot them all in landscape, and then I'll turn the ones that are actually framed in a portrait mode in post. So, in a nutshell, that's it. But there are other things you can do, and I'm going to show you that. If you want to streamline your workflow, this is more to do with. Okay, so one of the methods I'm just about to show you is more to do with, rather than use this screen, use another screen. So you take the HDMI port out into Atomos Shogun monitor. You can use the Ninja. You can use any of the other monitors or recorder monitors out there on the market. So this is what you do. HDMI port here, out on the camera. Okay. Turn it on. And make sure that you select HDMI input on your device, and then, as you can see, view the image on your monitor. It's a bigger monitor from the one that's on your camera. That might be something else that you might want to do. And then presto, you take your picture and then go on to the next slide. Okay, so I've now set my laptop up. I've got a USB cable coming out of the camera going into the computer. I'm now going to start Capture One. Alright, I'm going to create a new session. I'm going to call it Training. Very imaginative. And I will put it new folder, training. There we go, that'll do. Create. Right, so it's now going to create the session for me. Okay. I come to tether and camera, and I go click. Okay, so as you can see, that slide is now in Capture One in all its glory. Now captured that slide. Well, actually, let's just go on and do a couple of others. Capture. And there it is. Unfortunately, that slide's out of focus. Let's see if this one's a better slide. No, I don't think it's going to be. Oh yeah, that's better. That's a better, yeah. Actually, this is good. This is showing you what I said before about the fact that the slides, it all depends on the quality of the actual given slide. I think we might start processing, having a bit of fun. So, with this last slide, the first thing I'm going to do, we'll just give that a bit of a rotate right. Done. Okay. And we might crop it a little bit. Okay. Yep. Done. And we can go in and play around with, so the first thing I might do is just do an automatic adjustment. And in this case I might might just bring the shadows up a fraction. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Okay, that's a good one. Now, let's just say there was a piece of metadata on that slide. As it turns out, there's not. But let's just say that there was. So we go back to the library, and I go down to metadata. Okay. And I come down here, and I can put in, what am I looking for? Here we go, description. Okay. And I could put in a little note saying, this is Craig. I don't know who Craig is, but let's just take, yeah, there's a good example. Crossing the river. Okay. You can put a category if you want. Say, for instance, river. Headline. Having a blast. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. The point is that that information will be stored with that picture, and even when you output it as a JPEG, that will be there. Capture One is my main go-to, but I do use other pieces of software, and they are predominantly Mac only, and that is Photomator and Pixelmator Pro, and I'll show you why in a later video. But my understanding is you can do the same thing I'm doing here with Lightroom. So I think we might sign off at the moment, and I hope this has been of some value to you. Thank you for watching.